Hi guys, today I just wanted to, before the video starts, just mention that this video that you're about to watch is basically a cut from the stream of where I talk about Inferno and basically some tips and little tricks you can do. I hope you enjoy. If you have any feedback or anything you want to ask for the next video, please leave it in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care guys, bye bye.
Nade lessons here. Alright, okay, so we start this again, shall we? A word from our sponsor. Raid Shadow Legends. Alright, okay, so what I'm going to go over today for you guys is basically Inferno Nades just on T and CT side. It's not going to be anything super special. Like I imagine most people know how to smoke CT and stuff, but it's just going to be some tips and tricks. And just some cute little nade combos that you can do to kind of help you win your games. Kind of. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is quite a lot of people struggle with dealing with banana aggression. Most of the time because of the Molotov that CTs throw. The smoke that I tend to throw for this one, and don't do it from here, but like as you're running up, if you just kind of throw it off half wall, it allows you to have your gun out pretty early, and it's also going to put out any Molotov that they throw. Like anything that kind of lands around here, you're going to put out. You obviously, with your spawn, you're going to beat the ones back here. And you're putting out this one. And the other beauty of this smoke is that it actually gives you full vision when you peek. So, like, there's no, like, losing a bit of your vision when you peek, running through a bit of a smoke or anything like that. It's actually really nice. And if you play with friends, you can accompany it with a flash like this from your teammate. Usually the timing of it is when you kind of get to around here. It wants to be popping. And that's going to basically blind, well, you can see it's up there. That's going to blind everybody that looks to peek you, anybody that's looking to kind of sit here and hold you, or might be like getting in to hold you or falling back from car because they're afraid of the smoke. So that's a nice little combo. So again, smoke. And then if you've got a teammate, ask him to throw this flash. If you don't, then I guess you could also just throw this flash, but you're then kind of playing with the timing a little bit. And that's kind of, you know, meh, the way it is. So yeah, so that's like an opening towards banana that you can do. Nice little play. If you really want to, you can follow it up with, I guess, a sandbags Molotov as well. Like if the smoke's down. When you're coming through here, if you chuck yourself to the left so that you're behind the smoke. If you kind of just... It's a bit of muscle memory, but I guess anywhere like off the corner there. You'll get that like into sandbags somewhat. If you really want to be a bit more precise, I guess you can see it as you're running up, but you want to be landing it around there. I don't have a particular lineup for that one. That's just kind of off muscle memory. So I guess just try and figure it out. Okay, so Dave, what are you saying in chat? I mean the one for CT side that lands behind car. Ah, okay. I know which one you mean. Okay, I'll get to that. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. Alright, so that's kind of your banana stuff. There's pretty generic. Everything else is the same. For anybody that doesn't know, this is how you molly the AWP corner, or like yellow. Pretty consistent, well, it is consistently. Blocks off the crossfire, stops anybody peeking, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's your banana stuff. Now, towards CT, like towards actually executing the site, I could sit here all day and go over all the different ways you can smoke CT, but my absolute favorite is this one. Just because of one, it's like the best spread, and two, of how consistently it lands. Like there's no way they can block that very well, and it just gives you such a nice spread that if they do want to come through it, they're committed. Like there's so much of like if they peek and they like you take that fight, there's so much of it that you can trace them through that it's just really easy to go there. What about a consistent new box, Molly? Sure, I can show you those. I can show you the Molotovs, actually. Because they're kind of important. So, for new box, Molotovs, I'll show you the easy one, and then I'll show you my favorite one, and you can kind of decide which one you want to do. But for, like, the easy one, basically come into this corner of the car here. Oh, this used to be a car. It's barrels now, isn't it, really? And then you want to look for this, the biggest tile from the left of here. That's kind of like how I look at it. Or kind of look for where the gutter meets the tiling. And then just come to this corner here. If you jump throw, and please make sure you're using a bind to get it consistent, you'll get usually a good spread of the Molotov. But sometimes it can be a little bit random, I guess, because that's the way Mollies spread, and it won't quite get all the way around. But what I found is if you throw this one, you tend to get a more consistent spread. So it's not like the greatest because you have to kind of like wiggle yourself to get into it. But if you get against this piece of wood here like this, and then aim at the top left corner of that spike, I guess that's like a spike, and jump throw, you get like a much more consistent spread of like either side. And it also kind of spreads nicer into that corner. It doesn't reach here, like I think the other one sort of does, but you will always get around here with the Molotov. I've never seen it not. As long as you line it up properly, which is, again, just get into the middle of the wood, like this, and then just jump throw from the left corner. Oh, wow, okay. I'm going to cut that bit out. I'm going to cut that bit out. That's not going in the video. That's not going in. That's not going in of me failing it. I don't know, dude. Like, it's just this fucking Molotov. It is just this Molotov. Like, look, this one does the same shit. I aimed at the same spot, and they can just sit here like this. No problem. Always when saying consistent, that happens. Yeah, like, this isn't a consistent Molotov, alright? It's just not. If you want a consistent one, get to here and aim at that. Okay? That's consistent. That'll always fucking land there. Right, okay, so that's your new box Molotov. Again, get into here like this. Just aim like that. That's honestly the easiest lineup to do. And it will most of the time burn it. If it, just be aware that you need to check it. Just in case. Alright, like just make it a thing that eventually you just check it. Just in case it hasn't spread there. The next one would be a dark Molotov. Now this one's easy to do. Basically into this corner here. Look for this kind of spot on the wall, and then just aim on the left-hand side of it in the middle. That'll fire away across and land very nicely into dark and spread all the way up to here. So this player's kind of forced to stand out in the open here. And it fucks you up. Pushes them out. So it's a nice little double with that one. But if I was you, if I had to choose between this one and this one, unless you know particularly they like to open dark or something like that, I'd always go for the new box Molotov. It's just more important. Because this can be such a round winning position, whereas opposed to this one is much easier to get past. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is a nice little nade combination that I really like, and it's to do with coffins. And basically, you're going to stand here against this edge of this door frame. You're going to aim at the bottom left corner of the barrel there, or like the lid of the barrel, and jump throw. And then shortly afterwards, aim at the top of this line here. Shift, walk forward, and then jump throw. And what that's going to basically do is give you the Molotov that lands on coffins here, and then the smoke that pops behind it. So the coffins player is going to be forced back, and then he's going to be behind this smoke. And he can't push through until this Molotov fades. Yeah, I meant the lid, chat. Look, if I show you again, I meant the lid. The lid of the barrel. Top left corner, fine. Top left corner of the barrel. So you can see, look, the Mollie's going to spread really nicely all the way up to here. So there's literally nowhere he can go except backwards unless he wants to tank the Molotov. And then the smoke comes down. By the time that Molly dissipates in the smoke, if he wants to push back through, you're going to be up in his face. And he's just not going to win that fight. You know, like, he's going to be pretty scared. He's going to be like, okay, he might pop flashes for his teammate if he's any good. But in general, it's kind of what he has to deal with. But yeah, that's a nice little fancy little trick. And then finally, for just like a little flex, if you ever need it, this is how you can smoke deep CT from here. Again, come into the logs here like this. Look for the two spikes that are above the window. Aim between the middle of them and jump throw. And you'll get a nice CT smoke, a deep one as well, that allows you to kind of wrap around. But again, that's just a little extra thing. All right, last couple of things towards T side. Then I'll just aim towards A. And then we'll jump onto CT side, and I'll show you some stuff for that. So, first smoke that I'll teach you is the arch smoke from second mid. Basically, you're going to come into the middle of this bench here like this. Aim between these two sticks in the pylon there. Run forward, and once you hit the bridge, you're going to jump throw. It is super consistent, so don't worry about the release point. Like, as long as you have hit the bridge, and you're not, running forever, so you throw the smoke into the bridge, it will land in arch. This is a really nice smoke to throw for like a really fast mid long play, like kind of a wrap around. Basically, like I've said, look, you can throw it kind of late, and it'll still land in arch. He says, hopefully. There we go. I was about to edit that bit out as well. But yeah, so you'll get it. Like, obviously, if you throw it a little bit later, you get a little gap here. So try to throw it just after you've ran past the bridge. But yeah, that's your arch smoke. Library smoke from second mid. I know there's quite a few, but this is probably my favorite one against the pipe. Look for this line here, like this marking in the paint. And then where it gets a little bit darker in the middle there, just aim to the right of it. And that will just bounce its way into library. And that's it. That's it for those two. I guess the only extra smoke that is probably nice to know is... I'm trying to remember it myself now. I believe... Oh, it's from up here, actually. It's not super useful for you personally, but your teammates might benefit from it. I'm trying to remember what I do. I think it's like this. No, it's more to the left, I think. Oh, no. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, yeah. So you can throw this smoke. Basically sets up a deep wrap into arch. So if you've got an IGL, or if you're someone that likes to dictate the gameplay and you like want your teammates to wrap into arch, you can just throw that smoke from second mid bridge. It has quite a nice flight time. Oh wow, even though that bounced a little bit, that's still okay. Okay, cool. So that actually has super leeway. But yeah, that can be a pretty nice smoke to throw. Again, not something I'd say would be super useful, but it could be if you're that kind of person that likes to be a bit creative. I know I said last one, but I guess one last smoke that I would say is good to know is the walkout smoke through apps. Basically on the middle of the door, but to the right of it, where like this bit meets here, where I'm aiming at, and then just look for this light colored brick on the edge and aim in the middle. That will smoke balcony, and if you want to, you can combine it with a flash that pops out, and that gives you a nice little walkout smoke. And if you've not seen this smoke before, it is a, if I don't overjump it, I just come away and show you, it is a deadly one-way onto site. If I just put a bot here real quick and rethrow the smoke, I can show you what that kind of looks like. Oh, that's the flash, isn't it? Oops. I can show you very quickly what that looks like from the A-site perspective. Because like you can see, if you were here, around here, you can sort of see the top of the head. But anybody that's coming in from the side here, or playing in from Moto or back here, is just not going to see you. Yeah, this guy might if he's peeking you here, so just be careful. That is kind of it for T side. We'll go on to CT side now, and we'll carry on with A, and then we'll finish on B. Because I could show a crap load on B, but I don't want to show too much. So Molotovs to begin with. Now there's two Molotovs that I think are super important to helping you deal with middle. Both with mid and second mid, and the second mid one kind of ties in with apps as well, but I'll explain that in a minute. Basically, this is a Molotov for Underpass. There's quite a few. There's a couple going around where they like aim somewhere like here and then do like a running jump throw. Obviously, I don't know that one because of how bad that was. But mine, it's just a left click, so it can work on 64 tick. It works on everything. Basically, you come along, find the corner here of the painting or graffiti, whatever this is. Find the corner of it, and then you want to look for this little I guess connection point on the pylon, and just aim at the wood below it and left click. And what that's gonna do is fly down, molly all across middle here, so there's no rush up, and also molly underpass. And it will also burn the guy in here as well. So the only place that the T can really go if he decides to swing middle is into this corner here. Which, in terms of an Orpus Paradise, that's like your preferred peak, right? Like you can just crouch peek and pre-aim, almost pre-shoot it, pre-fire it, sorry, not pre-shoot it. Because you know that this is not a problem and they can't be running up middle because he won't get past that Molotov. The only way he can is if he puts it out. And it also, like I said, it delays the underpass player. Like he has to come from second mid or he's waiting back here to get through to drop in later. So you're definitely slowing down the T's and not allowing them to be where they want to be. The other molly that I was talking about that I think is pretty good. So actually, I'll show another one before I show that one. If you're ever a short player and you want to stop them taking apps control so easily, I guess this is the simple way of doing it. You basically just come stand here and throw this molly into here. This may seem really silly, but what it actually does is basically stops them jumping up into apps like they normally like to do with the molly into second mid, which I'll show now for anybody that doesn't know. It's just as you come under the bridge, you jump throw and aiming at the top of the shadow. Glass doesn't need to be broken. You actually get a better spread. If you don't, it spreads into the bedroom. But yeah, like, so what that play tends to be that they'll do that and then they like to jump up into apps. Fuck's sake. They like to jump up into apps. Chat. No, nothing. Don't say anything. All right? We didn't see it. You say something, I'll cut it out. I'm joking. But yeah, so like this Molotov can stop that happening. But what this one does here that I'm about to show you is it stops them jumping up and it also stops this swing. So you can really kind of trap them into second mid. And basically, it's not the easiest smoke in the world. I'll admit that. Sorry, Molotov. It requires a bit of mechanical like ability with nades. So what you're going to do is come into the corner and look for this line. And if you aim at the bottom, like the left-hand side of it, if you shift walk forward just a little bit, so like you can kind of see I get to the end of the line. And then, oh, wait, hold on. A bit more to the left. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Let me show that again. Okay, I don't throw this one a lot. If you aim at the bottom left of the line and just do like a little walk forward and then jump throw, you're going to get this Molotov. Now, you can see it stops the push here, but it also completely stops them getting on the stairs up into apps. I've found that when I've thrown this, or I've had it thrown against me because a person that found it with me threw it against me, it actually completely stopped my second mid play. Like anything I wanted to do between second mid had to be stopped because I couldn't run through this. Like, if you tried to jump up into apps with that burning, it would kill you. Or you would drop to like 20 HP by the time you've got up into apps. So it is a really nice play, and I'll show it one more time. Basically, aim at the left side of the line, walk forward a little bit, and jump there. I can guarantee you won't find many people that know this, but like this is just a nice Molotov to throw. Very nice indeed. I think that's pretty much it for A. I guess there is also this smoke. Now, bear with me, chat, because I don't know it that well. But I'm pretty sure this gives you a pit like a one-way. Yeah, it does. Okay. So, if you come into this corner here, if they're executing A and you've got your smoke and you've got time to do it, so please be just wary of apps swinging on you. But if you throw this smoke, which is basically you're aiming at like this kind of top left corner of the in the middle of the window, that's going to give your pit player this mad one-way. Like, he can see so comfortably into short. And if I just show you the T's perspective of this, like, the only way they can see you is if they crouch. And even then, it's not really that clear. But, like, your vision of them... And I'm just going to rethrow the smoke because I'm lazy and don't want to mess up the lineup. Like, your vision of them is crazy strong. Like, you don't even have to be here with an AWP. Like, an M4, it's just an absolute, like, field day for you. There's really not a lot they can do. So, yeah, I would say that this is a den. It's not maybe for you personally, but if you like to support your teammates and stuff, that can be a really nice smoke. Last but not least, then, let's go towards B. So, B site players. I will show you a couple of neat Molotovs. I'll show you a couple of smokes. And I'll show you a couple of flashes. And then that'll pretty much be it. I don't think you'll need much else. So first things first, I'll just show the smoke that Dave has been asking for in chat. And this is basically the smoke. I believe this is what he's asking for, to put out the Molotov that T's throw at top banana. And give you like the one-way on either side, like here or in the front here. I believe if that's the case. And I'll put a Molotov on there to show you, actually. So there's the Molotov. And I'll rethrow that just before I throw my smoke. So, rethrow. And then if I throw the smoke, I can show you. So I'll show you the aim point in a second. But I just kind of want to show you what the smoke does. So, actually, I've thrown that completely wrong. Because the smoke goes before the Molotov does. Hold on. Give me a second. Right, there we go. That's a little bit better, but it's still not perfect. It's kind of hard to replicate. But basically, it usually gives you like a one-way across here where you can see down banana. And then it also allows you to peek from the front. But this is kind of hard to do by myself. Let me see if I just throw it normally, does it do that? Let me have a look. Yeah, okay, if you throw it normally, it does it. So it's giving... No, actually, it really doesn't. What the hell? Do I need to... Do I need to aim there? Is that a better version? No. Okay. You definitely aim where I was aiming. But yeah, it's going to give you... That's the lineup. I can't show you what it does, but I can guarantee that it gives you a nice bit of vision down banana, and it's very difficult to see the CT peeking. But the way you line it up is get into this corner next to the bench, and then aim where the antenna meets. Place a bot? Okay, I will do. Like if I just place a bot here, bot. But you can see that's really hard to see him. And the vision that he has down banana is pretty strong. As you saw from my perspective when I was there. Like if you... wait for it to land. Like you saw, like look, my vision was pretty clear. His was very, very bad. Like he could barely see me at all. So that's the power of that smoke. And again, it's putting out any Molotov that lands there, allowing you to peek quite comfortably. But yeah, so that's the first smoke. The next couple of smokes I'm going to show you are... One is to land here, and then the other one is to land on T-stairs. The one that lands here is really good when you're on like an SMG and you want to stop the banana rush. I can show you the util set that you would throw, but basically, for the one that lands halfway, you tend to be the guy with the second spawn. You don't have to be the guy with the first spawn to throw this. But you come into this corner here. You're going to look for like the line in the tree here. That is actually the window. I only learned that when I zoomed in once. If you aim right in the middle of it and just jump throw, it's going to come bouncing down. Oh. Let me try that again. Let me aim at the top of it actually. 1 second. New crosshair, guys. There we go. Aim at the top of it. Alright, ignore what I just said. You aim at the top. The top part of the twig. Maybe you can aim at the bottom as well. Let me just test that one out. Maybe the middle's the only place you can't aim. Yeah, okay. The middle's the only place you can't aim. I would aim at the bottom, just so you don't give logs a one-way. Alright, okay, so get into this corner. Aim at the bottom part of the twig and jump there. That'll kind of bounce down nicely and give you this really nice smoke here. And then what you can do is, if you're trying to stop the rush, once you've thrown the smoke, if you come stand here and do like a jump throw against the chimney, you'll Molotov behind, like in front of it, but technically behind it for them. And there's no way. There's no way they can rush. Like, if one guy does choose to rush through this, the rest of them are going to be coming through. If they smoke this here as well, they have no vision from here to here. Exactly, Keel. This is actually there, so I could look back on it when I'm trying to remember my own lineups. So yeah, that I'll show the Molotov again, because I realized I just kind of rushed over that. Basically, come along the shadow here. Look for the chimney smoke. If you don't see the chimney smoke because of your settings, just know you need to be aiming up from the door and in between the two of these. But let me be a little bit higher and run forward and just jump throw just before you kind of hit the wall. And that will always Molotov here. This is also, again, talking about Molotovs, this is the fastest way to molly top banana. The only problem with it is that it takes a little while to get used to it. Because if you aim too low, you kind of don't get a Molotov, and then you've wasted it. And so please make sure if you're going to throw this as like your top banana molly, that you are happy and consistent with throwing it and feel like it's something you can throw every time. It's not hard to do, but it just, for anybody that's just learning nades, it takes a little bit getting used to. But yeah, that's that smoke. And then the other smoke for the bottom of banana is from here. And basically, you're going to go against the bin. Look for this yellow flower. So I just basically look for the middle and then like the largest yellow flower that you can see. Or at least the brightest one from here. Aim right in the middle of it and jump throw. I think I learned this from my IGL who said it was from Woxic. And that's going to smoke the bottom of banana for you. So that can actually be a really nice thing to do from the beginning. If you then want to double molly banana, which I'll show you in a second how to do. But again, just to show, in the corner here. Aim at the yellow flower. Jump there. Alright, next two are the double mollies. So these are my way to throw them. If you have your own, that's absolutely fine. But this is just my preferred method of throwing them because they're safe to throw. And you can do all sorts of utility. Actually, I can show you the entire util set from here if you like. Not that you're going to tell me you like it because obviously you're in the video. But yeah, so basically when you spawn and when you come round the corner, just get yourself against this part of the door frame. Aim at this part here on the wall and left click throw. You'll get a nice Molotov that clips behind the wall, spreads really well, and gets there nice and early. It's actually pretty deep as well for how early it is. So it really will stop them getting through it. Like, they will need to put it out before they commit to it. And then the second one, this one's a little bit weird to line up. I don't know any other way to describe this other than run along this shadow like this until this wall meets the yellow wall. So like this edge here meets this edge. And once you get that, you're basically aiming at this corner piece here. It's not, I know it's not the simplest lineup. There is one you can throw from here where you just come to the corner and aim like this. But the problem with it is that you're really exposed to a peek. But yeah, you're already seeing the Molotov. So if you just do this, so run along. And again, it's kind of just muscle memory, but you get used to it. Like, you run along, and once you see that, again, you don't have to be super clean. Just aim there like that, and you'll get this really nice Molotov that's going to spread into this corner, and into here. That's the important bit. Like, the logs player is basically stuck here. He can't see, he can't peek you. He has to wait for this to end before he can do anything, and then you can follow it up with a nice chunky nade, and he's really going to hate going into banana. I said I'd show you the whole nade set from here, so I can show you actually all of it. So you've got the Molotov. You've then got this smoke. Again, the lineup wise, you're basically going across here until you meet the shadow and jump throw. I'll show you the flight of that because it's kind of cool. It's pretty quick and it doesn't interfere with either of the Molotovs. And then if you kind of go back to where you threw the Molotov and left click a flash, you get quite a nice little pot flash. For peeking anyway. It's not so much of a pot flash, but more you can peek really comfortably down banana, and anybody that's trying to face you is going to get blinded by this. They have to look away, and you're going to be able to peek with it, so that favors you quite drastically. So yeah, that's your kind of util sets really, and they would be probably my most useful nades for banana. And or beat it just generally on Inferno. I tell you what, there's a couple that you could learn as well. I'll show you a couple of extras. This is a nice little one-way smoke that lands on the wall here. My teammate Cam showed me this one. Allows you to see underneath it. Very difficult for them to see you. And then likewise, this is not any special lineup, but it is just a good thing to understand. If you're getting executed on B a lot, throwing this smoke just as they execute is actually really difficult to deal with, because what you're basically doing is, rather than confining yourself to here where the CTs can obviously molly you, you can basically move between this area, and they don't know, they can't see you, they can't molly you because the smoke's basically going to put out any Molotov that goes there. They can still molly new box obviously, but you can kind of move around. You can come here and just hold this like kind of peek area here. You can kind of wait for the new box molly to fade and then go back in and peek with a flash if you've got one or from a teammate. It's not a special lineup, but it's actually a nice little idea and it works pretty well. And then finally, I guess the extra thing I'll add in is my favorite way to smoke banana, which is basically look for this big like stone in the wall, walk into the middle of it, look for this kind of corner here where the white beat meets the grey bit on the wall, and jump throw. I'll explain why I like this in a second, but I'll just show it you first. It lands nicely. It comes from the back, and it lands really nicely. Doesn't really give them much of a boosting option, because the way the smoke is, the top part of it is here, so they can only really see like into this area, and you can see them quite clearly. But the main reason I like this smoke is because, and again, I'll just throw it really quick. What you can then do is like come here and throw a molly, and your smoke that would normally bounce here would put out the Molotov. So you can kind of do both, and neither of them, the smoke won't put out the molly, was basically what I'm trying to say, is that you can have the Molotov there and have the smoke at the same time. They don't need to, they can coexist. They don't need to be one after another or do one and then do the other one shortly after. It's a little bit it's not complicated. It's just smart, I guess, would be the best way to put it. It's just a bit on the logical side, which, you know, we're all about in this community. We're all about being logical and strategic, and we don't do anything stupid. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Or for this video. If there's anything else, guys in chat, you guys want to know, or anybody in the YouTube comments or anything, if there's anything else that you'd like to know, please just let me know, and I'll see if I can do like a part 2 for Inferno. But otherwise, we'll probably jump on the next map will probably be Overpass, and we'll go over those kind of nades. But that'll be for another day. Yeah, thanks for watching.